Death is an illusion. It is not real. So does this mean that there is life after death? No. This is a misconception. From the moment you are born until the day you die, everything that you experience is always changing. Everything comes and goes, rises and falls away, appears and fades. But ask yourself this: are you always changing? Are you always coming and going, or rising and fading away? If you answered yes to any of these questions, inevitably you will have trouble dealing with death. What you will soon come to discover is that you, in your highest form, your true nature, does not come and go. It does not arise, it does not fade, it does not change, it never disappears. It is the unborn, and therefore it can never die. This is the nature of consciousness. What we have done is we have attached our consciousness to an identity, to our mind, to form. We have become seduced into believing that we are the personality or the ego. We identify with the body or the mind or the personality, and these things are always changing. They are always coming and going, arising and falling. That is why we believe in death, because we exist in a reality where that is the truth. Because the body changes, grows old, and dies. So if we identify ourselves with the body, we will ultimately fear death. When you identify with the mind, you will fear death because the mind disappears and fades away. But you, as consciousness, cannot die. But look, these words are meaningless unless you have personal experience becoming in touch but from the perspective of the mind or the ego. These are just ideas. They don't mean anything. Unless you have personal experience being in touch with consciousness, with God, then you will have not tasted the eternal. You will have only known temporary things and believe yourself to be temporary. When you begin aligning your identity with consciousness, you will find that the fear of death eventually fades away, because you know intuitively that it no longer applies to you. Yes, you may still exist in a body that dies. You may still have a mind that fades away, but you will be in touch with the aspect of yourself that is eternal. And you will have detached your identity from that which is changing and temporary. When you are in harmony with the transcendent, you no longer fear the lower energies, the lower dimensions of reality, because you understand there is a deep knowing within you that no experiences can ever actually touch you. They can never actually do you any harm. Some people look at it as putting on the armor of God. When you are in this state of being, you begin to explore the nature of consciousness, the nature of the eternal, and you come to understand that it is indestructible. You see, the human being is made up of three fundamental parts: a body that is temporary, a mind that is semi-temporary, semi-eternal, and consciousness or energy that is eternal. Most people identify with the body or the mind, but even if so, you still understand what death is like from that perspective. Every night in deep sleep, the entirety of the physical reality, your body, disappears. Your mind fades away. But are you terrified to go to sleep every night? No, there is no fear. 999 times out of 1,000, you wake up every morning. There is only one time in your life in which you will not wake up, and that is death. So speaking from probability, perhaps we may simply wake up in a different place or in a different state. So then what happens after death? Nothing. There is no death. You are here now in the eternal present moment, experiencing an infinite array of changing experiences all the time. Your experiences fluctuate, but you do not. You are here alive now. In the dream state, you are there witnessing the dream. Death is just another fluctuation of experience. It comes and it goes. All that happens is that the scene changes. What is death but another moment? And you have lived a life full of moments. So there is truly no difference between the experience of death and all other experiences. Because when you break it down to the most simple and fundamental parts of our experience of reality, it comes down to two things. You are an unchanging awareness that is consciousness. And you are here witnessing an ever-changing scene, an ever-changing array of objects in which we call experiences. When you have a dream and one scene changes to another, do you say, I died and now I'm in another life, in another body, in another world? You have two completely different but equally vivid and detailed scenes in a dream, and yet you are still the same, the witness of both. Even though that dream is gone forever, you will never experience that scene in the dream again. But you are not gone forever. You remain the same. Do you die when you go to sleep? Do you die when you wake up? You change worlds. You change experiences. But you fundamentally do not change. You could theoretically go through 1 trillion different lives, in 1 trillion different bodies, in trillions of different experiences, and you will still be here now and remain unchanged, the ever-present witness of all experiences. Even if you were to go to hell, you are still that same unchanging witness that is consciousness, but attached to an identity that is having a certain kind of experience. The reason that we believe in death, we have fallen into illusion and have identified with the changing, and therefore we experience a reality where death is the truth. Because all things that change die, they are temporary, because death is the very nature of change. Things come and things go, but life is the very essence of the unchanging, because that which is unchanging is eternal, and what is eternal is everlasting. So you think I'm a madman? Yes, you are probably right. Which is why I don't want you to just listen to what I am saying. So long as these ideas are just concepts in the mind, they are useless and can even be harmful. It's the same reason why religion often gets a bad reputation. Because people who have no idea what they're talking about go and read something from a book, it sounds nice, and then they go and preach it to other people. And the people who listen know even less, because they're getting their information from a third-hand source. So I say, cut out all the middlemen. Don't listen to what I am saying, listen to how the voice within you responds to the words that I speak. because I, in this form, am just a man, and it is easy for me to lead you astray. But the quiet voice within you, what some call the authentic voice of God, can never lead you astray. So my only purpose here is to spark curiosity into your mind. I want to get you to think about things differently. I want you to challenge these ideas and try and destroy them. Where are the weaknesses in the words that I speak? Find them and expose them so that the truth may be revealed. Because I am not perfect. I am just speaking. And some things will resonate to you, and some things won't. And it is in your response, your thoughts to these words, that facilitate our highest knowing, our highest truth. So this is not a one-way street. Rather, I prefer this to be a dialogue. But in the end, the truth is fundamentally beyond words, which is why we must come to experience these things for ourselves. To stop listening so much to others and start listening to our inner guidance. Without first-hand experience, you will never truly understand anything, and you will be forced to resort to dogma, to beliefs, and to superstitions. So if you want to truly grasp these ideas and dive deeper in understanding, in seeking and finding the truth, then I encourage you to join Masters of the Universe, Academy of Self-Mastery. You can go to motuacademy.com, where you will find free communities to ask questions, to connect with others who have no idea what to think anymore. Because we are all on this journey together, and by reflecting with each other, by communicating, we are more easily to come to the truth. Rather, when we are so caught up in our own heads, in our own thoughts and ideas and perspectives about the world, this becomes kind of like an echo chamber where we just kind of enjoy validating our own ideas and believing they're true. Which again is why I would love for you to challenge these ideas, because it is impossible for us to get outside of our own perspective enough to find true clarity. But fundamentally, you should not fear death, because death is not real. You never truly die. But because you have identified with that which changes and therefore dies, you exist in a reality in which death is the truth. Because death will occur to that which you have identified with. But once you discover the ever-present, unchanging consciousness that is here now, you will see that you are an eternal presence that can never perish. The more you align yourself, your identity with this consciousness, the more in harmony you become with this presence, the more you will begin to transcend material existence and suffering. Death and time will no longer have the same meaning that they once did. You will find yourself in a new world with new possibilities, because imagine the things you could do if you did not have fear. Discover for yourself your true power. Join one of our free communities at motuacademy.com. Master you, master the universe, and master death.